So, pretty interesting news about everyone's favorite game, Destiny, has come out today. If you all remember when Destiny was first being revealed and discussed by Activision and Bungie back when they first announced that those two companies were going to be working together for a period of time, Destiny was referred to as a game that was supposed to last 10 years. The term 10-year plan was thrown around then. It's thrown around today with this new piece of news about the game. The idea of a game that was going to be released and supported for 10 years, a full decade, was a monumental promise. It was a really crazy sounding thing. It was a very exciting sounding thing. I mean, I love Bungie. I loved them back then, and thinking about the first thing they would be making away from the Halo franchise was certainly an exciting prospect. And then you threw in this whole weird thing of a 10-year plan with Activision, with Destiny, whatever that means. And at the time, we didn't have anything more than a couple of pieces of concept art. So it's kind of eerie when you think back to that time and what we didn't know and what we know now, just 1 year past the 1 year anniversary of Destiny actually releasing and being playing it for so long. So a 10-year plan was something that, again, we just didn't know what that meant, but it seemed pretty cool. Long story short, it seemed very, very cool. Now, what's apparently come out today is a couple of reports at a couple of different websites and news outlets that the 10-year plan strategy for Destiny isn't really happening, and it isn't really what was ever meant to be happening. Apparently, it was less of a 10-year plan and more of a 10-year agreement that Bungie had with Activision. So this all was in lieu of the fallout that was happening between Activision at that time with some of the, I think Activision and Bungie and some of the other guys who left the Call of Duty project and maybe eventually started Respawn. I don't really remember, and it's referred to in a couple of articles. They don't really go too much in depth, and I have vague recollection. But that legal battle that happened at that time sort of was what got everything caught up with how Destiny was being developed, planned for, and released. And so they still maintained at that time, a couple of years ago, all the way up through when Destiny even launched last September, that the game had a 10-year plan. Now, I've been playing Destiny since day one, and you know me, I really love Destiny. Not everyone does. It's a very controversial kind of title, and I think it's too bad because, man, I freaking enjoy the hell out of Destiny. I know why people have some issues with it and have some complaints, and a lot of them are very legitimate. I, however, have not had my experience hindered by these problems. I love Destiny. The Taken King just released, and I'm trying to hold off on purchasing it because I have so many other games to buy, but I'm probably going to give in pretty soon here. And I'm excited to play it. I'm excited to see what year 2 for Destiny brings. But I've been thinking about that whole 10-year plan statement a lot since Destiny came out. And as somebody who's been enjoying Destiny implicitly, I still have been wondering, what the hell would they plan to do with Destiny for 10 years? I feel like 4 or 5 years ago, whenever this was, when they first made that claim, at that time in gaming, before the 8th generation, there was no PS4, Wii U, or Xbox One. We were in the 7th generation where we were really new to the whole online support of games after the purchase. It was only a couple of years into that. Like, the idea of being able to support a game for so long didn't sound astronomical. You know, games like WoW and Guild Wars and Final Fantasy XI had shown that a game can be supported for a pretty long time and people can enjoy it in that online universe in an MMO sort of format. So it's like, okay, I guess that's what they're trying to do with this weird shooter from Bungie, but we didn't really know what that was going to look like. And so, again, going back 4, 5, 6 years, it didn't sound like an astronomical concept. 10-year game, okay. Exciting, but not impossible. Nowadays, you fast forward that 5 or 6 years to today, and even a year after Destiny has now launched, and we all understand what that game offers to us, the idea of a 10-year game, of a game like this being supported for 10 years, and a company not trying to shoehorn in a bunch of sequels, with the way the market and the companies try to make back their money today, it doesn't seem feasible. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I love Destiny, but I don't think it has the content to support 10 years. In just 1 year, they had to release 2 expansions that were fleshing out what people thought was going to be available from day one. And then a massive overhaul of an expansion that's more than half the price of the initial purchase at $40 that actually makes it what people feel the game should have been at day one. Wow, that is so many content updates for your dollar that they've had to release in just the first year, in 1/10 of the purported idea of a 10-year plan, to actually start to complete this game. And it's like, man, before I would have seen how Destiny would play out, I would have assumed that getting 3 huge content upgrades for a game like Destiny that was supposed to be out for 10 years, I would have assumed that would have happened. That would have taken 3 to 4 years to get 3 content updates out. And within that 3 to 4 year span, people still would have been enjoying the game en masse. People would have had a lot of good things to say about it, sinking hundreds and hundreds of hours into the game, which, to be fair, a lot of people are and have been, myself included, but not to the way that I think Bungie was expecting, or that they were alluding to back when they first announced the game and discussed it as a 10-year plan sort of experience. So, long story short, what I'm getting at is, obviously, again, I say this as a Destiny lover, they didn't deliver the experience that I think supports a 10-year plan. And so, in thinking, what are they going to do with this 10-year thing? Could Destiny really last 10 years? Are they going to release, 1 to 3 content upgrades every single year for a decade and expect people to pay between $15 and $100 worth of content DLC upgrades every year for a decade? Impossible. They're crazy. And if the game would require so many consistent upgrades, again, for money, not free updates, I should say, but updates for money, DLC, then they've basically just dropped the ball on that game. And I hate to say that about a game that I love, but I can only acknowledge the faults that have happened in the game's design if that was to be the case. So we get this information today that apparently it was never really what it sounded like. The game isn't expected to be a 10-year sort of a 10-year lifespan. Bungie wasn't planning on making Destiny a game that you buy one day on day one, and it's going to be a game that you're going to be playing. Servers are going to be supported. Updates are going to be coming. Some you pay for, some for free. And the community and the experience of Destiny lasts for a decade and is supported by Bungie and Activision for a decade. And, it's sad to learn that really isn't going to be the case, but it's not really surprising because, like I said, I've been realizing that there's no way to make this happen. So, those are kind of my thoughts. I just wanted to bring up this piece of news because I'm such a fan of Destiny, which I know at first surprised a lot of people because I'm this big Nintendo fan. Yes, I play on all the platforms and on PC and 3DS and all this stuff, but I'm a huge... people seem to have been surprised initially that this would be a kind of game I would support. But honestly, it's a beautiful game. It's an amazing playing game, and I love the concept, and I love the world and the interaction with other players. And I love the loot and the upgrades and all that stuff. I mean, Destiny has just blown me away. I love the game. But it's been pretty incomplete, and it hasn't lived up to what most gamers wanted out of it. And I'm only one gamer, so yes, maybe I got out of it what I wanted, but that's not all that matters. And I think a lot of gamers, we have this problem where we only see within our little box. And our little box is obviously what the rest of the industry and every other millions of gamers in the world is considering and looking through. Like, this is the lens that everyone obviously views gaming through. No, not the case. That's the lens that you, which is one of millions of gamers, view the industry through. Just like my lens of I love Destiny as it is only my lens. It's no one else's lens. So I can't pretend that just because I love Destiny how it is, that everyone else should be happy with it, and it's stupid that people don't believe Bungie made a good and complete game and all these different things. So, that's just a little soapbox sort of tirade, but the purpose stands true. I love Destiny, but the faults remain. If so many people have issues with this game, I can only acknowledge. My younger brother was a huge Destiny fan. He played it with me like crazy, and he knows that game inside and out better than I do. But he's now decided to stop playing it. He has taken issue with Bungie's lack of fulfilling their promises and making an incomplete game. And the end game after you hit 20 initially wasn't really fulfilling, and they didn't get the second raid at the time that they promised, and they're forcing us to buy the second raid that should have come with the last update. All these different things, and it's like, damn, if you take that guy and make him mad at Destiny, then obviously there are mistakes being made. So I don't want to keep retreading the same topics. The point is, this is interesting that apparently Destiny is no longer planned for the 10-year game that they said it was going to. It was going to be. Whatever this 10-year agreement was supposed to be, I guess, remains to be seen. Maybe that means that includes actual sequels, not just an update for Destiny, but maybe a true Destiny 2, or maybe a Destiny handheld spin-off, or a PC spin-off, or maybe they do like a Destiny RTS the way they did at Halo RTS. And all these things are part of the 10-year agreement that Activision and Bungie has. Who knows? A Destiny movie, Destiny action figures, all this shit could keep going for a decade, and it's part of that agreement. And it kind of sucks that it couldn't really be a game that lasts for 10 years. I liked that idea that we could play Destiny for a year, 2, 3 years without really much changes because there's so much to do and see. And then when that one update comes every other year, it's like such a big deal. Instead, they had to make 3 priced for your dollar updates in the first 365 days that game was out. And that's not right. I love those updates and I still love the game, but that's not right. And it's rubbing people the wrong way. And obviously, this whole reveal about the lack of a 10-year plan shows that they really didn't have everything planned and organized the way that they wanted to when they released this game. So it remains to be seen. I'm still going to keep playing Destiny. I'll be picking up Taken King pretty soon here. What do you guys think about this? Again, I know Destiny's a controversial game. I think for a lot of my audience, it'll be seen as pretty controversial. I know most people who follow the channel don't really get into Destiny. Some people do. I've had some great comments on my Destiny videos, and you guys are awesome. Justin, the 9to5 Gamer, great guy, great channel. He's a big Destiny guy. We've talked about it a lot. Tried to plan some raids and have yet to do it because we're slackers. I'm a slacker, really. But, you know, there are people out there who follow me who do like Destiny, and I appreciate you guys. But I know that a lot of people don't, so I definitely want to hear your thoughts, both from the Destiny fans and the Destiny haters, and what you think this whole thing means, and what happened with Activision and Bungie and the 10-year plan for Destiny, man. And how will it play out? That'll be interesting to see. I want to see where Destiny goes from here into year 2, 3, and 4 and beyond, or whatever. So, you know, that's it. You know, talking about a game I love. Pretty interesting. What do you guys think? Thanks for tuning in. Share your thoughts below. This is Rob of Rule to Review, and I'll catch you guys next time on another video.